Welcome back to G Brews. So I finally got my brew space set up, mostly, and I want to take you on a little shop tour. So I decided to go with the claw hammer setup. It's a 10-gallon, 240-watt system. You can see I've got the 10-gallon brew pot here. You can see the heating element, temperature probe, and the drain on the bottom. I've got the grain bin. Got my setup here for the next beer I'm going to do. Come over here. I have my electronic control. And then I temporarily mounted the pump down here just to try it. Not 100% set on that, on the direction and everything yet. But then the rest of the week I was setting up the sink. I had to run hot and cold water to that with the drain. And then turning around, I repurposed an old desk, and that's where I'm going to put my buckets for fermenting the beer. So it's a fairly easy setup once you get all the electric and water and everything run. I ran a little test last night, and one of the really cool things, I got the water up from about 55 degrees to 120 degrees in about 15 minutes or less. I ran 5 gallons. And then it's the first time I've ever used a plate chiller. I ran it through the plate chiller with the counterflow tap water, and it dropped it almost equally quick. So I'm excited to do my next batch on the new equipment and try everything out. And you all are along for the ride. One thing I forgot, I did repurpose this shelf. So I've got 2 shelves for all my brewing equipment. And that way I can go through. I am starting with different kits, just getting started here. And then I got the grinder, I have my hot basket, my whirlpool attachment. I haven't put the lift up yet. And then I have my tubes right here. And then I have my refractor and the star sand. One thing I was able to do, you can see I was actually able to go get one of the little spray bottles. I have star sand ready to go whenever I need it. And then the other thing I did, I just added a little fridge. I had an old fridge sitting around. Eventually I might do a glycol chiller in that. And that way drop it a little bit quicker if I need to. But for the most part, it's a pretty basic setup. And I'm looking forward to trying it. So follow me. We'll see how it goes. So I'm going to go ahead and just do a boil run of just water and then dump it just to kind of help clean, make sure everything's working the way that I need it to. So you can see right now, I just filled it with 7 gallons of water. Right now I have it set at 102 degrees. Currently, the temperature probe's reading 53.5. So what I'm going to go through and do is, if I remember how to do this. Yeah, I'm still figuring all this out. So I'm going to go up to about 210. There's a faster way to do this. I just can't remember what it is. It puts the dots, the period in there in flashing mode, and then you can change each decimal moving or each number going back and forth. This will get the job done though. But you can notice that as the water temperature is cooling everything down because it's tap temperature is dropping a little bit. It's also going to be running at 100%. This does have the ability to control and lower. So I'm going to go to 210. And I'm going to turn the heat on. So you can see the heat light turned on. Already you can start to hear the heating element kicking on. You can see the heat waves. Not sure if that's coming through on the video or not. Let me see if I go at an angle, maybe. Yep, you can start to see some of the bubbles coming through. So one thing I did, I just hooked up my pump lines. I think I hooked them up right, and now I can just turn the pump on. And you can see pulling out of the bottom, and it's just doing a real fine little mist on the top. Still working some of the bubbles through the line here, but I will say one of the things I did try a quick little run last night. Mounting the pump like that to something solid really does make a big difference. Same thing with a plate chiller. I got to figure out how to mount that. But you can see circulating the water around, temperature's going up quick. All right, so we're about 10 minutes into the heat, and you can see we've gone up about 50 degrees, still pumping along. I still have the pump running on circulation, still sprinkling through. So my goal is to get this up to about 210, get a nice boil going, circulate through everything, make sure it all works all right, and then we're gonna move on to the plate chiller. So I was able to get the water up to about 200 degrees, which was a good thing that I did, because it actually wound up being about 215 degrees. So I was actually able to configure the offset. I forgot to hit set at 100 when I put it to 210, and ended up just going sitting there for 5 minutes or so until I noticed. So with that little break in the middle, total time to go from 53 to 215 degrees was about 33 minutes, which is a lot faster than the electric stove that I have up. What I'm doing now though is I'm actually chilling it, right? So I have my pot hooked up to the pump, running over to the counterflow chiller, and then back into the pot. And then I have my sink with the water running on it here. And I'm playing with the different water settings to kind of see how much it chills it, but it's been running for maybe a minute or two, and it's already dropped significantly. So we'll see how long it takes to drop down. I'm gonna drop it down to about 70 degrees and see how long it takes. If you're wondering if the counter chiller actually works, I have a little temperature gun here. You see on this side, it's hitting right where it comes in, about 82.4. And then on the other side, right where it exits, it's down to 65. So it's dropping almost 20 degrees running through that plate. So I just dropped from 215 to 75 degrees in just over 12 minutes. And when I ran in the bathtub in the last video that you saw, that took about 30 minutes. And that was actually the temperature in the tank. As I was looking at the temperature on the plate chiller, it was actually about 5 degrees cooler. So I actually think we're below 70 degrees right now in the ward itself. So I think I'm going to wind up getting one of those inline thermometers you hook onto the plate chiller, so that way you can tell exactly what the temperature is coming out of the plate chiller. But so far the setup works really well. Now I'm going to drain it all, and I got to decide if I'm actually going to brew today or tomorrow. If I don't see you anymore, be kind. What I meant was, if I don't see you anymore today, be kind.